Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, August 19th. Over the next few days, we will continue to have lightning across the southern half of the Great Basin, especially in Utah, which will continue to be wet. However, the monsoon moisture will push north today through Sunday, and it will increase lightning activity across Idaho for the next few days. These thunderstorms will still be fairly spotty with respect to precipitation. I'm sure we will see some wetting rains in some areas, but again, very hit or miss for the thunderstorms in Idaho. However, relative humidity will certainly be elevated both during the day and at night across Idaho, so that will certainly help temper some of the fire danger conditions, at least for a few days. Over the last 24 hours, we saw numerous thunderstorms over the southern third of the Great Basin and scattered thunderstorms over much of western and northern Nevada. These thunderstorms were certainly on the wetter side. We did have a fairly thick cloud shield as well, keeping relative humidity up, and certainly got some decent areas of wetting rains. These thunderstorms also pushed north up into southwest Idaho, producing some light rainfall and some spotty thunderstorms and showers over eastern Idaho into Wyoming. Great Basin fire activity yesterday was light to moderate, with new smaller fires reported across the Great Basin, but we still continue with our same large fires over Idaho. Over the last 7 to 14 days, we've seen, again, the wetter conditions continue over the southern half of the Great Basin, and we've seen those drier spots still continue to be parts of southern and central Idaho. Currently, our ERCs have certainly been coming up across the central mountains fairly rapidly and are now approaching the 90th percentile into parts of the Payette and even towards the Salmon Chalice again. But we will see that moisture moving in today, so we will see those ERCs tick downwards yet again. Over western areas and northern areas of Nevada, where ERCs started to come back up, have quickly gone downward again just with the recent moisture. 100-hour fuel moisture has really dried out up across southwest and central Idaho into northwest Nevada, but again, that will be improving as well, at least temporarily over the next couple of days. The satellite loop from this morning shows that plume of moisture now pushing north up into Idaho. Again, we have that cloud shield over southwest into west central Idaho with some light shower activity, but it's right on the north side of this cloud shield, which is where we should see our thunderstorms really start to fire off today in central Idaho. Otherwise, drier air has already pushed into western Nevada, and that will continue pushing eastward going later in the weekend. The weather picture again for later today, you can see that moisture plume in Idaho and then tracking back down into Utah with that drier air moving into western Nevada. We still have our high risk for scattered thunderstorms today over the central mountains of Idaho. Obviously, that continues up into Montana. And again, precipitation will be spotty, and we'll be more concerned with gusty outflow winds, especially affecting existing incidents and then new starts with those gusty outflow winds as well. Thunderstorms, again, will really start to fire off in Idaho today, still be continuing in parts of northeast Nevada today, and also wetter conditions, obviously, further south into Utah. Wind gusts today will generally be breezy across central Nevada, but fuel is certainly not a concern there at the present time. Up north, where we have our large fires, winds will be in the light to moderate side. However, we will see those gusty outflow winds. Relative humidity will increase starting today across Idaho, with many areas above about 18 or 20%. As we move into Saturday, very similar picture to today. That moisture remains in place in Idaho and Utah and even clips northeast Nevada, so we still have another day of high risk for our central mountains for those scattered thunderstorms. Again, precipitation hit or miss, but we will see at least some areas of wetting rains up there, but again, fairly localized. Otherwise, that dry air continues to push into western Nevada. Here's our weather picture for Saturday. So again, just that spotty nature of the thunderstorms up north in Idaho, continuing into northeast Nevada with those wetter conditions in Utah. Similar wind picture and no big concerns with wind with the exception of gusty outflow winds. Relative humidity really starts to drop over the western half of Nevada, where relative humidity drops back down into the 12 to 15% range, but still remains elevated across Idaho and even goes up a little bit from what we'll see today, with most areas seeing relative humidity above 20 or 25%. As we move into Sunday, that dry air starts to push eastward, so we will see some drying, especially over the southwest and central areas of Idaho. So we do not have any high risk on Sunday. We will continue to see the fire danger, again, tick back upwards as we go into the early part of next week for northern and western areas. Still could see a few thunderstorms, especially over the Salmon Chalice down into the northern Sawtooth, but probably a little bit drier for the Payette and for the Boise National Forest, and then as you go further west. Relative humidity starts to drop in Idaho, especially over southwest Idaho by Sunday, dropping back down into the teens. And again, no really concerns with winds on Sunday. Forecast amounts of precipitation, again, will be somewhat spotty up in Idaho with the heavier wetting rains down in Utah. And then as we move into Monday, the one main feature to watch will be a short wave moving into the Pacific Northwest. This could trigger what would be more a classic dry lightning signature for parts of central Idaho. However, those thunderstorms may be just a bit further north into northern Idaho and Wyoming and just clip our northern GAC border. So we will keep an eye on that. We will obviously have a couple of days of some increased moisture for Idaho, but those thunderstorms certainly will be a little bit faster moving and on the drier side if they do occur. So no high risk yet, but we'll be closely monitoring that. Otherwise, by Tuesday, that dry air really starts to push eastward across the Great Basin. And then by Wednesday remains north into Idaho. You can see our significant fire potential really starts to dry out again across central and southwest Idaho into western and northwest Nevada. We will have some moisture returning from the south starting towards Wednesday, Thursday for the southern half of Nevada. So thunderstorms will likely return to Nevada by Wednesday and Thursday and continue in the wetter variety across Utah. Probably no major concerns with these thunderstorms in Nevada, as we will again have just been coming off this latest push of monsoon moisture, so fuels probably won't recover enough for high risk, but certainly at least an increase in initial attack again. Otherwise, a prolonged dry period looks to be on tap for Idaho. 7-day total precip, not much different than the 3-day as far as with aerial coverage. Again, we will start to see those thunderstorms return to southern, central, and western Nevada as we get towards the middle of next week. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from August 26th through September 1st, still shows warm and dry conditions for Idaho and the western sides of the Great Basin, and that monsoon moisture remaining in place for central and eastern areas. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.